Hi everybody, this is Robert with Deep Thought Cycle Automobile Blog, and my car phone mount for some reason doesn't stick very well in the cold morning air, and I turn on the radio if I could, but then YouTube would probably block my video. So I'm very excited, just getting off of my shift, and I really like when Elon last year said he has no role, right? No title. He said that briefly, I remember that. I forgot the situation was, some kind of media bashing or something, you know. So I'm doing great. I don't even want to say it's a new position. It's kind of a new position, but it is a new position for me, actually, I guess. But I don't know what the title is, and it doesn't really matter. The thing that matters for me is I get to do things like really get into the final parts of what's wrong and do things to improve it and get it going and help make Teslas. And a lot of critical thinking in there, a lot of steps, a lot of chances to make improvement. And I always taught my students, even before I knew about Elon. Einstein said, try not to become a man of success, rather become a man of value, right? And I'm doing my overtime, and I'm getting my salary and stuff, and Tesla's always paid very fair, but definitely not every job you do is just for money. And I got to tell you, the money is really helpful for my family, and cost of living is pretty high in America and stuff. However, definitely a job that I go to, like teaching. Only, you know, it's not, teaching was for my students directly and stuff, from my heart and from my soul. And working for Elon, why I get the paycheck and stuff, for me it's definitely 100%. You know, I'm sad to be away from my kids so much, and that sucks. But it's a job that I'm motivated for, not about the money, about the vision, and not just. I mean, a lot of people think, oh, it's about cars and stuff. For me, Tesla's not. I mean, the cars are cool, but for me, it's not about the automobile or the car, or it's a sporty or cool. It's about the innovation, the disruption, the being a part of history, the other advances, about SpaceX. It's about reaching out, you know, and yeah. I mean, it's about being part of a change in humanity, and a lot of great things going on there. So I'm tired. I just got off my shift, and I'm going through the desert on a horse with no name, and I'm happy. I'm getting into sixth gear here. I'm happy don't worry. So happy together. I'm happy because I'm doing some super cool things, and tonight was so awesome. tonight I had 2 ideas, and they're so cool. Some ideas to really help Tesla, and generally I think they're revolution. They're not revolution. They're like easy to implement, can help our process. And somebody told me the people that do those ideas are called process techs or something. Somebody comes up with ideas for I don't know what that's called, but whatever it is, I submitted the ideas and suggestions, and they're in play right now. And I really think that 2 ideas tonight I submitted can possibly help Tesla make a lot of money, a lot more money, and improve our production and do super cool, awesome things. And I've done. I can't tell you what I've done. I can't tell you what the ideas are. But I've continuously submitted ideas, and I've always been excited about each one. But these 2 ideas in particular are my grand whatever. They're super awesome. I wish I could tell you what they are, but and I'm getting I'm doing more, and I'm in a position right now in this new position. What I'm doing, the responsibilities allow me to. I feel like I think more. I'm not trying to sound like I'm some kind of genius savant or something. I'm not. It's my autism stuff. I'm sorry. I like all the programs I've worked on to develop like software, like for the kids' cherry tree system and their Linux, and when I was doing Drupal, I was always the guy that was always writing tons and tons of support, UI improvement suggestions, and working with developers and forums, and working in IRC, and just giving tons of ideas with developers. And so this is something I did way before I went in Tesla. It's something I did, with my students, trying to be a better teacher with my family. Just something I do, like my autism, like ODD or whatever. But I'm so happy to submit these issues, and I'm in this position that I'm at doing these things. I feel like right now it's a whole lot of stuff to digest, and I feel like it's more challenging, and finally it gets some more challenging than repetitive. So it's interesting because there's a lot of variety, and it's a lot more stimulating mentally for me. And now I get the feeling though that I wonder if the challenge will keep me content. I wonder because I'm new to this position, and I'm wondering how many times I do these challenges, if I'm going to end up saying, this is boring, Really, I'd like to go and work in all the different, I have worked in a lot of places, in fact, almost, I like to continue to go and, just like, whenever you go to a new section, you could see different things with design and production and engineering, how things are done, that I think you kind of got a fresh perspective, and you're not really complacent and used to how things are going. So I think that's kind of a unique time to get a unique view on things, and I like to write my ideas down and give them to people that are magical, and to make those ideas happen and stuff. And that's what Tesla does, right? And you couldn't go to another company, I think, and have those ideas. They just did a study, I heard, on a podcast I listened to. It said that Tesla, they did a survey of all the engineering schools that are in America or something. And they said the number 1 place where engineers want to work is SpaceX, and the number 2 place is Tesla. All these engineering students. And I remember when Elon Musk went to Tsinghua and talked about how he studied engineering, but how he was just self-taught, and he read a lot of books. And I played that lecture over and over in Chinese to my students, and I told them, just read and follow your passion and your heart, and that's always, I've learned a lot from the people I was around. I learned a lot online. I studied all the lectures. I remember when MIT had their free lectures, when they started first having open courseware, and I discovered that, like, me, a poor boy, I could go to MIT's campus and have the same lectures from the same professors. And so I just went to like every lecture about blended learning and flipping the classroom, and I just was like like this. I was watching like all the Sloan Business Link managements from all the keynote speakers and all these innovative giants, and it was awesome. It really was educational, and all my pieces of how I learned and stuff. It's cool. I mean, today's classrooms are not designed for today's student. And anyways, so I'm happy that that I could have a challenge and overcome it and be a part of a company that has got challenges every day, and it's cool. I love it. Like that movie that my kids watch, Find a Need, Fix a Need. No job is too small, and everybody's awesome. Nobody's getting angry at me because I got these ideas. I'm able to tell them, and I know I sound like a freak, but people are listening, and it's a good idea. So I keep talking, and I write some reports, and it's so cool, And I never really am thinking about I need to do this for money. I mean, I know I need my paycheck, and I go to overtime, and I get tired, and I say I want to have a day off, and I wish I didn't have to go to work tonight. I don't have to go. It's my volunteer, but if I need to pay my bills, and when I'm doing my work, I don't really think about the money part, but it's important. But so if I wasn't working, I'd be teaching, I guess. Try to teach. So sorry to talk so much about that, everybody. I'm tired, but I had an exciting night, and I made some submissions, and I hope that it's the right thing and for our company. And I hope Elon likes my ideas and stuff, and we'll see what happens, right? And so what's going on personal life? I went to bed at 8 or I went to bed early this morning, and tried to talk to my wife about strategies with the kids. Went to bed. My wife woke me up at like 10 o'clock, and after I haven't slept for days, and she's my wife, and I have to love her, and I don't mind staying awake to give her my love. And then I went back to bed after I gave her a little bit of my love, and I woke up at 3, and my kids are out there. She said, "Do I want to ride my bike?" And I just thought, well, I just slept 6 hours for the first time in like a week, and I want to ride, but it's a little bit windy and cold, and I thought, well, I better calm down and sit down and eat some food, and just kind of take it easy, not push my body, because I pushed my body so hard for birthday parties and graduation, and I just didn't really, I thought, well, I could ride, and I want to ride, but I'm going to not ride today and take my car. So, but I got a lot of stress. I mean, I looked at, and I thought, my bike for my wife that I bought her, it's not really that great for her, and I started looking, I'd like to get her an extra small, like Shirley Ogre, like what I got her, because I don't think drop bars would be good, and I like the Shirley Ogre, how it's got the dropping top bar of the frame, and it's got, I like the Gary Fishers too, but I didn't see the extra small for her, and I'm talking about the Gary Fishers, the old ones they had from the 90s and stuff, in that second-hand store. But I thought about getting her extra small frame like a Shirley Ogre, but those are expensive, and I hardly have any money, and she doesn't like the seat, and I thought, well, maybe I'll buy her a B17 women's saddle, and that way whatever bike she could put the Brooks saddle on there. I really like Brooks saddles, and I thought that would be good for her, but that's like $90. I'm not sure. Well, maybe I'll go back to the secondhand, or to the Reno Bike Project and check out their other bike store, see if they got a more comfortable bike for her, see if they got some old seats she could try out before I just jump and spend that money at Amazon. And I started, so I got that in the back of the head. I would like to get my wife a bicycle that's good and comfortable for her, you know, and that we can ride together. And at the same time, I thought, well, think about the strategy, how to put the bikes on the cars, you know, 5 bikes. And I thought, well, we could put 3 kids' bikes on the top of my wife's car and 2 on a trailer hitch. And I started looking at trailer hitches. I thought, wait, maybe the idea is just to put a trailer hitch on both cars and get one of those lightweight trailers, because these diesel engines, these Volkswagens, I heard they got a 2,000-pound towing limit. And diesel's got a lot of torque. But then I found out, you know, my wife's got the DSG transmission in her station wagon, which I like to take because it's bigger and stuff with the family, but it might not be good for the transmission. I even have to pay $430 or something because I got to change the transmission fluid, and I got to take it to this Volkswagen dealership that's a nightmare, that I burn my bridges with, that I hate them, and I don't want to go to them, and it's something you got to warm up the transmission to running temperature to change it, and I don't really have the money to do that even, so I don't want to kill her car with automatic transmission, but I thought it might not kill it. I'm not sure. I heard in Europe they're allowed to tow it, but in the US it's not allowed. I don't know. You know, towing hitches are expensive, trailers are expensive, and I don't want to spend any money. I just want to spend time with my family. But like, if you look down there, there's that river down there, there's a creek, and this was a swamp valley where the Donner Pass immigrants used to march down there and to their death in the mountains, where they would eat each other. So I started looking at fishing rods. I want to go fish. I don't got a lot of free time. I want to go fish. I want to drive my car to Colorado and try to see my son called Talkwa, and I wanted to go on a road trip. I want to go camping with my family. Whenever I could pay off my credit card bills, I want to take a day off. I haven't took any day off since October 1st. I've worked 6 days a week, and I thought, well, you know, I don't want to spend all that money on I want to go out, but we got the tents, we got sleeping bags. I was looking at fishing rods online, and I don't know what kind of, you know, my dad was on a fishing. He's all getting these Rappel, whatever, Shimano. I knew about Shimano's fishing rods before I knew they made bike stuff, and I know he spent a lot of money, but I thought, well, I got to get my kids one. I looked online, Amazon, and like every kind of fishing rods, a Chinese import, telescoping, carving. I don't even know what kind of fishing rod to get them. You know, do the fish really care? And so I thought, like, just get like a couple of rods for $30 each or something. And I'm so confused. There's so many choices on Amazon. If anybody knows what a good fishing rod and reel set is for children, let me know. Let's say, add a comment. Send me a link to the Amazon. Right? I need to get some rods for Apollo and Solaris and Bobby and my wife. And I thought that, you know, they could go ride their bike not so far over here, because I just read about a story about people in Reno getting their father and his 6-year-old child got hit by a car. It was tragic. And the car driver said they couldn't see the sunlight or something. And so I'm terrified about my wife and kids getting in a car accident, riding without me, but I want them to have activities while I'm at home. They could ride up in the hill and the trails, and I'm trying to encourage that. Even though I'm in the factory every day, I want them to go on expeditions and go fishing together. I'm sure my wife would have a good time. And you know, I hardly got time to find the swimming place. My wife doesn't drive the car safe enough to drive her car around without me. She doesn't got her license yet, so trying to manage all this and not save. We got to save our money. I got to pay off Chen for the $4,000 he lent my family, and I can't pay him off till I can pay off these credit card loans, and so it's a challenge. I mean, if we buy this stuff for the bike trailers, I don't got time to go bike riding with my family that much, only like a couple days. So as much nice as it would be to drive in the mountains or drive somewhere and go bike riding for a couple days and camping, because that's, if I had like 2-3 days off, like every 2 or 3 days, here's what we would do. We would drive somewhere in the wild and we would camp and get barbecue and relax with the kids and fishing and hiking, and that's what I would do every single day except for when they're at the buffet and when we're at the museums and we're in the Goodwill looking at the library, because the Goodwill's got this awesome collection of books. So I would do that if I was a rich man, if I was rich enough to not have to work overtime every single goddamn day. But that's it. It's a hard knock life for us. It's a hard knock life for us. Instead of something we get through, you know. And there's a lot of people that have a hard time. And can you believe it? It's tough, you know. But I think that one day, if I just keep doing a good job, you know, I just don't want to miss my kids' childhood, and I don't want to be the absentee father. And so I reached out on my Facebook to my dad, my long lost father, and I said, if anybody knows who my father is in Denver, Colorado, if you know him, tell him that he could come and see his grandchildren, his opposite of ancestors, his offspring. He could see his fruit of loins, and he could see his grandkids, and I'll pay for the ticket down here, and I'll let him have the lodging in my home, my humble abode, and he could go out if he wants to, and because he did that with all my cousins, and I don't have regrets or something. He could go out and go base